All right, appreciate you being here. Again, coming again, we didn't really get together after the last game, so coming off the last week here, again, 2-2 after the Missouri game. Defense player game, we gave it to Greg Heben. A couple picks, but pretty solid, a lot of other areas. Cody Latimer backed it up with another solid performance as the offensive player of the game. Played well. Of course, he played well in the first couple of weeks, didn't get touches, but was playing well just without the ball and on special teams. He's had a good year so far for sure, but had another solid game for us. Mitch Ewald at kicker, I think it's the third time Mitch has done it. It's kind of been perfect. His kicks, placements on kickoffs have been nice for us as well. Our scout players of the week, Billy Ivan, third time for Billy as a fourth-year guy, working hard for us behind the scenes. Isaac Griffith, young freshman, is doing well for us, being redshirted. Chris Smith, defensively, young freshman redshirting, and Simeon Ikadabu, one of our walk-ons that was with us last year, back with us. So, coming off that deal, we saw that game. You guys know that one. We had open date. We'll talk about that. Thought we had a good week of work. I said it from an attitude standpoint. We kind of looked at it Sunday, put it behind us. Point in time, I think our team has worked very, very hard. There's a point of maybe overworking, over-grinding, over-prepping you can do. Did put a lot of time on us. As much as anything, we did look at opponents and we looked at a lot of young guys, but we did want to talk fundamentals and looking at things that we like that we're doing, things we don't like, and self-study and self-eval of our strengths and weaknesses, what to work on. Had a lot of young guy work, so each day 10, 15, 20 minutes of, hey, you scout guys instead of running their plays, run some of our stuff, and that's always good for the young guys. A little bit of future work. We got a 3-game run here with this open date deal. We had 4 open date, now a 3-game run. So if we did concentrate a little bit on some of our opponents, offense, defense, but it wasn't about just game planning. A lot was really about us, young guy development. We were able to take, I think, a little bit of a break physically with the guys, some time, kind of that midpoint of academics, so to give them a chance to get away through the weekend a little bit on Friday and Saturday. We had to be in class on Friday, but we didn't have workouts or structured practice, whatnot. Same deal on Monday. We didn't practice last Sunday, Monday. We had work on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, not to overdo it, not to underdo it. But I do think from a mental side, academic side, that time of year, that open date did come at a nice point. And I think from a recruiting standpoint, we had chances coaches to get out. Coaches were all out Thursday and Friday. We had everyone out. We're limited on how we can do our recruiting, and during 1 week, we can have our whole staff of 10 out for as many days as we wanted. We took advantage of that to have a lot of guys out. We've done a lot of local work, which we were able to, from there, fringe into some surrounding states and even hit some of our travel states. So I thought that went well. Last thing with the open day, we got some health deals, so it gets a chance to get some guys cleaned up. I'll hit real quick on that. Peyton Eckert is still, to me, out. He's been gimpy with this back deal. He still has practiced some. I don't anticipate him going yet. And again, we'll see how it goes. We will get to a point, can be redshirt if he needs to be, doesn't have to be. Just because you're redshirt doesn't even mean you get a 5th year. You have the option. We'll play that one. But I think right now, again, he keeps being iffy, keeps trying to go. But he's got basically just a low back deal that he got in a non-contact deal. It's just kind of gimped on him. Other than that, Feeney and Hubler, it's been out all year. Everyone else I would anticipate as being probable or playing. So we got guys practicing. Do they practice enough to play? Do they practice well enough to play? The rest of our core right now I think is good to go. So thought the open date was good. And then with that, we'll flip to Penn State. Noon kick coming in at 3-1. Their lone loss, Central Florida. I don't know if you had a chance to watch Central Florida play South Carolina. It's a good football team. Matter of fact, I saw during their game, they were one of 8 teams this year to not be behind until I think in the third quarter when they were up 10-0 on South Carolina. They came back. So Central Florida is their loss. They lost that game 34-31. That's a quality opponent that played very, very well against those guys. Offensively, 2 years Coach O'Brien been there. That's his pedigree, his upbringing. Very strong coach, very knowledgeable coach. Puts his guys in good positions. So you look at the personnel. Their freshman quarterback is really solid, playing in a scheme where they understand how to take advantage of his strengths and not stress him out as a freshman with protections and run game balance and screen and in their play calls and whatnot. But the Hackenberg kid is a very talented young player, playing in a great scheme, well coached. Nice running backs, a big back, 240-pounder and get behind his back, and then behind his pads, then 2 change-up backs they bring in that are averaging 7.5, 8 yards. A nice running game, about 195, 197 yards a game rushing. Really good receivers with Robinson, maybe the best in our league. It leads the league this year, did last year in receptions. He's a very dynamic player. Got a young freshman that they like, Lewis, number 7 as well, that they're bringing on. So they got some skill outside. 2 really nice tight ends in 18 and 87 that do a nice job for him in a solid line. So they piece it together, and they got a bunch of nice pieces. They got a young freshman quarterback. It's very, very talented, but with the big back in the running game, nice perimeter players, nice tight ends, solid line, pretty good package offensively, doing really, really well. Defensively, as always, are stout up front, typical Penn State. Solid, strong at backer, really good up front, big D tackle, couple active ends. Got some new guys in the back end, but you don't really notice it. You wouldn't know they're new if you're watching tape. They've been solid, well coached. New coordinator this year, but he was there a year ago. You got Coach Vanderlyn and Coach Johnson have been there 10, 12, 15, 20 years. So a lot of continuity on defense. They didn't play by their standards like they wanted to against Central Florida. You can tell they come back and shut out Kent State, playing Penn State defense 34-0. So a good defense, be a strong test for us, and we're looking forward to Saturday. Questions?
You said that you went back and you looked at what you liked and didn't like over the first 4 games. What were the things that you liked and didn't like?
Well, again, so for example, we got to keep working on our third downs. We're doing okay, but conversions, whether we're stopping drives, getting off the field, continuing drives on offense, we're about 50% there. We got to be a little bit better than that. That's a decent number. The games that we've shown that we've had run game and balance, same thing defensively. The games that we've played a little bit better run defense, we've made the team a little bit more one-dimensional. The games we've struggled, it's been our inability to run and stop the run. And then with that, our opponents have been able to have kind of their way with us. We talked a lot. We played 4 games, and we've spotted a touchdown each game that's a non-defensive touchdown. So we're basically starting the game down 7 points the way we're playing. So we talked a lot, worked a lot on not just ball security, because there hadn't been fumbles. We had 1 on a kickoff, and we had a punt block, but just taking care of the ball, send a quarterback exchange, short yardage. You saw that last night. You saw the Patriots and the Falcons game. Best players in the world, games on the line, those short yardage plays. We have a couple center quarterback exchanges. You kind of keep working on those things. So what I think we've gotten consistently is that our kids have given us great effort. I think we have great attitude with our guys, and we're looking to make sure we put our young guys defensively in places where they know what to do and they can attack. Offensively, we keep finding a way to have some balance and take care of the ball.